it's being weird and not really letting me do the things that I want to do. Alright, so I need to change some place names to make them less French. But that's like lower on my priorities right now. I need to advance my fronts. Because I do D&D with fronts. Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I was like trying to figure out a thing and it's been being weird. What else do I have? I took care of a lot of game design stuff last week, actually. I need to figure out what's going on with my dungeon clock. And that'll make a little bit more sense when I go there. Some other stuff I wanted to do. Let's see if it'll let me add this as a display capture now. Nope. Oh, I bet I know what's happening. Yeah, I can't really do much about that, unfortunately. Yeah, this is just being weird. So I'll just leave it. Here, I can fucking write this out in like real life shit. Let's do that. I wanted to have like a sticky note on the screen, but failing that, I guess we can have a sticky note in real life. That might be more helpful. World map. So another reason I like to do my prep by hand is because I feel like it helps me internalize it more, because I'm a very like hands-on person. So hopefully this is visible. Okay. Again, unfortunately I don't have a proper tripod right now, but I hope to have one eventually. Okay. Let's see. What happens if I scoot this? Oh, no, it's not gonna scoot any further back. Well, I could do that. And then I can kind of put that there. Oh, that's... I'm gonna switch to a piece of paper that's landscape in a little bit anyway, so put that right there. Okay. So, yeah, this is just like a default, like, Dungeon World stuff. The sheet from Dungeon World. With the principles. As we know them and love them. So let's switch. I'm not gonna do the world map right now. I put that on top though because it was just the first thing that came to mind yesterday. What I do want to do is go over some of my fronts. So that'll take a second to focus. This is my cosmology, but let me make sure there's no fronts that I'm missing. Okay. Oh, I have my adventure fronts. Yeah, that's actually gonna be I don't know if I like where that is, but we'll figure it out. What if I do this? That might work a little bit better. Okay. So hopefully they're visible. Charlie, if you're watching this, it's spoilers. I see you there. I don't know if that's a ghost in the machine or not. I'm gonna assume that my player's not actually watching. And if you are, Charlie, you've been forewarned. Okay, so I've got a couple things going on in my world. I've got a couple different fronts for the current adventure, and these are kind of messy. So I've got forest corruption, which as of right now hasn't been, so kind of like as a background, my players are in one of their like hometown, and there's some different stuff going on. The forest corruption is a Shadowland type of place in Dungeon World, and its impulse is to corrupt or consume the living. So the influence of demonic forces trying to corrupt the world are at odds with the Seelie or like good Fae magic, where it's weakest. This influence seeks to corrupt and destroy this magic and natural things. So people have been dying. That's already been like broadcast a lot. So this hasn't been dealt with in a couple of sessions, but I don't know if it's like been long enough to tick yet. I feel like it has. I feel like this needs to start happening. So I feel like this is happening right now, so that needs to be broadcasted in the next session or whenever it becomes relevant, because it definitely hasn't been dealt with. And honestly, I might be able to check too, but I don't want to do that without broadcasting the first one, because I feel like hi Sith Master. I really like to do stuff with pen and paper, because it helps me like internalize it more and organize it better than Google Docs, and also I can shuffle pages around more easily than I can like a bajillion Google documents. So like I said, I'm gonna get a tripod. Like, I actually have an Amazon order that I just put together for one. But right now all I have is my regular webcam clipped to, no joke, a cup. So I apologize if it's a little difficult to read. I'm gonna try to get that worked out. Oh, is it really? Here, let me move the mic closer. Oops. Okay. I brought the mic over. Yeah, it probably has a whole different timbre when I'm talking directly to the desk, doesn't it? I didn't even think about that. So yeah, let's stick my mouse kind of in the corner there. Can you still hear me okay? It's not like clipping or anything weird? But yeah, no, I want to get a actual like fucking tripod, but yeah, it's amazing what happens when I put the mic in front of my face instead of like down the desk from me. Um, my desk is kind of like I reorganized it so I can actually do this stuff, but it's still kind of like in a weird situation, and I want to get like a boom and stuff too, but it's all coming. I'm gonna be investing in like proper equipment soon, but right now it's just like I have my webcam clipped to a cup. It's I'm trying. But yeah, so this is kind of like this is all my adventure fronts for the current adventure. So this first front hasn't really been dealt with, and like they're all kind of like interconnected. So I had the first one ticked. The second one, this hasn't been dealt with for a while. It's like if you've watched Moana, it's like the plants dying from like evil forces, basically. So the way that kind of like the big bad, or at least like the main force in my world right now, is like planar destruction and a demon prince. So the way that's manifesting in the forest, in the rural area, which is where my characters are right now, is there's a couple different things going on. So there's a village to the north, or a couple sets of villages. They're like druid burrows that are kind of like they're having people get sick and die. So the one I just ticked is that the corruption starts killing plants as well as people and wildlife. Because this one hasn't been dealt with. So there were a couple different things that I kind of presented. And like, I don't know. I feel like my organization of my fronts and shit is more like Stars Without Number than it is like traditional D&D or even Dungeon World. Because I have like a lot of different things that are kind of interconnected. And like, if they don't deal with the one, it's not necessarily gonna be like super bad, because like they reflect like whatever progress they make on the other fronts will kind of have to reflect back, and I'll have to reevaluate. But they chose to go with the one at the bottom, which you can't see right now. I'll make it visible in a second. Versus the other ones. And actually, you know what I can make the music a little less visible. So let's decrease the size of my toast. And this cutesy little logo. Okay. It's a little better. Okay. I like that better. Alright, so this one hasn't really been dealt with, so I ticked it. So, like I was saying, I'm almost tempted to tick it twice, but I feel like that's gonna reflect, like that's gonna be rude to the players, because I feel like I should broadcast this first one of the plants dying before I don't know. I feel like I should broadcast this one before moving on to the next one, but maybe that's not the case, because I also haven't kind of revisited my fronts in a while. So I'm just gonna kind of like leave a question mark there. So Ancient Elven Monument, actually. So there's the impending doom of this one is pestilence and destruction, obviously, because like just the end game is so this is kind of like destroying the natural order of things. The end game here is to destroy the sunfruit trees, which are the major, like, kind of, sunfruit is just oranges. It's fantasy Florida. But not only are they like the major economic driver of the region, but also a form of pattern magic that's kind of like helping to like keep this place safe from whatever garbage. So if those go away, it's gonna be major bad news. So that's why pestilence and destruction, and the related front is the demon prince, because that and like the related planar forces are what's kind of advancing this whole front, or